And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week with Padma Shri, Dr. Sudhir Parikh. Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas. Welcome to This Week with Padma Shri, Dr. Sudhir Parikh. And with a lot of excitement in here, I welcome you, Doctor, today to the show.
Namaste. Namaste.
So, moving towards the big development which has taken place, and with Prime Minister taking oath again as Prime Minister Narendra Damodar Das Modi, how is the feeling for you?
Well, I mean, feeling is very excited, very happy, very feel like India is really deserves this kind of leadership, and hoping that I'm sure that Narendra Bhai will take India to the next level.
Talking about next level, in your mind, when we look at India globally, indeed in the first tenure as Prime Minister, Modi ji has done wonders for India's image. What do you expect to happen moving forward? And allow me to add, right now, world stage has changed with a kind of trade war kicking in with US and China.
Well, I think right now, the probably Prime Minister will end up working a little harder, a little more kind of aggressively because of the trade war. I'm sure the India will also get into that trade war, some kind of equation, and it's very important for India's economy to make sure that India doesn't end up getting on the negative side of the trade war.
Absolutely. And talking about relationship with neighboring countries, this is happening for the first time that, I mean, when I say first time, last time everyone in the SAARC countries was invited to be to the swearing-in ceremony. This time they have consciously kept Pakistan out of it. How do you see this?
Well, I think that's a very good gesture. I mean, good symbolic gesture to let the Pakistan know that we are very unhappy with the way Pakistan handles their terrorist camps and handles their kind of people, those who are troublemakers in the Kashmir, and so they should get a very clear message that unless you correct your behavior towards India or Indian people, will not cooperate with you and will not be your friend.
Absolutely. So this is a good way to start.
Right.
Setting our position clear right
Correct.
from
Yes.
the day one.
Yes, because then that way there is no mixed messages or mixed perception that if we invite and if we mean other way, then I think we should not do it, and just give the clear message to Pakistan that we don't like you at this moment because your behavior and your action is not good for India.
Absolutely. And we have had many occasions when Prime Minister of Pakistan tried to have sort of a dialogue with Prime Minister of India, and they said that first you show these results and then we'll proceed.
Right.
So on that front, the key problem between India and Pakistan many times is seen at the border, Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, there are other areas, but that becomes the key issue. And talking about Jammu and Kashmir, there were clearly different point of views expressed in a manifesto of BJP versus Congress. So BJP talked about Article 370 and 35A. So how do you foresee, will they be able to do some concrete?
Well, I mean, we are hoping that in order to integrate Kashmir into India, I mean, Prime Minister and this administration has to take a bold move. And now they can afford to do bold move because they have a very thumping majority. No one can stop it. And unless they integrate Kashmir completely with the India, I think it's difficult to solve this problem. So they should do in the two-prong approach, integrate the Kashmir to the India and educate the Kashmir youth that why they are better off with India and what is their future lies with India. And that way, once you educate the young youth about this thing, then probably it will be very successful.
Talking about success and talking about concerns or apprehensions among people with respect to not just Jammu and Kashmir but with respect to West Bengal also, partly with respect to Kerala also. But let's stay with the West Bengal, and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has accepted the invitation to be at the swearing-in ceremony. But there are 18 MPs from BJP this time, first in history. How do you see Modi ji likely to work in coordination with West Bengal administration, looking at the past recent statements which were quite...
Well, I mean, past statement, these all are campaign rhetoric, in a sense that in campaign everything and anything, positive or negative, goes. But once campaign is over, most of the real leaders, they always take a couple of steps back and see what is good for country, what's good for people. And I'm sure Prime Minister Modi and Mamata may work together if really they want to help the people of the West Bengal.
So I appreciate your hopefulness or optimism, and with that, if we move towards Congress for a while, and Congress didn't do that well, and Rahul Gandhi, Congress president, offered to step aside and let someone else take over as Congress president. It doesn't happen, and the discussion is still going. What do you think about this?
Well, I think Congress, I mean, of course, Congress had a very poor performance. And that in democracy always, of course, election results, I mean, Janta is Janardhan kind of thing. And if you cannot convince people of voters that why they should vote for you, then you are indirectly, that party is a failure. Now, all this offering resignation and all those things, this is all kind of natural kind of activities always happens after, but they should, Congress must introspect themselves, and they should see what can be done to change the leadership, what can be done to promote their, whatever their agenda is. But I think in democracy we do need a kind of a strong opposition party which can not only challenge the current government but also question the government. That way government can also be always on the alert and always on the ready side, you know.
Absolutely. So talking about the need of strong opposition in the democracy and a country like India, and about the strength of Congress, so the idea that dynasty or someone from Gandhi family should lead this party, it is kind of being questioned now. How do you see that in the light of Rahul Gandhi ji coming to this conclusion after introspection that he should step aside?
Well, I think probably he realized his failure, and he accepted his failure, and that's why he tried to offer the resignation. But so that shows that he realized something went wrong under his leadership, and so I think the next step they should do, he should stop at resigning and then party doesn't accepting resignation and then continue as it is. That is not right thing for Congress. They should introspect. They should see where they are, what's their shortcomings, why they cannot connect with the people, what they are doing is not correct, and if they correct that whole thing or correct the internal, I mean, of course, it's an internal problem of the party. from outsider like us, we cannot
Absolutely.
give much opinion about it. But they must introspect and seriously, and they must correct whatever their shortcoming.
Absolutely. So everybody should try to improve is the idea. And as we move towards the concluding part of today's conversation, I want to recollect with you, Dr. Sahab, that President Rahul Gandhi ji blamed some of the chief ministers of Congress, be it Rajasthan, be it Madhya Pradesh, and also leaders like Chidambaram, that they put the interest for their sons above party. Now, how you think these kind of expressions after the introspection would result into a kind of, they will unite and would inspire, or these kind of critical comments work adversely?
Well, I mean, we hope that this kind of critical comment works positively, and they should realize their mistakes and they should not repeat the mistake. Always one should learn from the history, right? From the past history. If you don't learn from the history, you are doomed to fail.
Absolutely.
And I would like to, more than now, since election is over, mandate has arrived. We know that Prime Minister Modi has won thumping majority, and really we congratulate, on behalf of Indian American diaspora, I would like to congratulate Prime Minister, heartiest congratulations for his success, and what we want from the Prime Minister to come up with the initiative where there will be more jobs for the young people. There is a better education in the schools and colleges, better curriculum, and also we hope that Prime Minister initiative globally, he has to maintain our leadership, whatever he created in the last 5 years, but to take that leadership beyond what is now, and improve the economy of the India, because once we are economically powerful, the world will welcome us.
Wonderful. So I welcome that idea, and as we conclude today's conversation, your parting words for our viewers.
Well, dear friends, thank you very much for joining us in this week episode of This Week with Dr. Parikh. Really, we are celebrating a kind of real victory of the democracy. We must congratulate Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi and his team for very successful victory, and also we wish him good luck to fulfill his vision for next 5 years and bring the India to the higher level. Thank you. Goodbye. Till next time. Jai Hind. God bless India. God bless America. Thank you.
And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, Chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh.